Hi, this is Paul with Stand Still Fitness, and today we're going to talk about the nutritional benefits of sprouted grains. If you've been looking in your grocery stores lately, you'll see that sprouted grains are all over the place, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit more about promises or if there's really some benefits. So there are really three unique things about sprouted grains. One thing is they have a higher nutritional density, and by that I mean the vitamins and minerals are higher per calorie than their non-sprouted brethren. And the reason for that is when the sapling comes out of the seed, it uses some of the starch. Less starch per seed, more minerals and more vitamins per seed, higher nutritional density. The second reason is that the bioavailability of certain minerals is much higher. So bioavailability means that our ability to take out the minerals is going to be higher. And a compound called phylates are often in certain seeds, such as millet, for example. And phytate is really hard for us to digest because we don't have phytase, which is the enzyme needed to break down phylates. So phylates bond really strongly with zinc, they bond high with iron and with calcium. And since we don't have phytase, we can't get to these minerals. So we eat the food with minerals, it passes through us and we miss it. When the seed germinates, then the sapling uses up a lot of the phylic acid and the amount of phylates goes down, bioavailability goes up, and we can increase the amount of zinc and the amount of calcium and iron we get from seeds. The third reason is certain types of grains, such as legumes and beans, create gas, right? And they're uncomfortable to eat, or they have trouble, some people have trouble with flatulence as a result of it. The reason that you get gas from beans is because they contain something called oligosaccharides, which are these multi-polymer carbohydrate chains. So we can't break them down naturally. So what we have in our small intestines is this bacteria. When bacteria process these sugars, they break it down into carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and methane. Methane is the gas you smell, and that's what the uncomfortable aroma is when you eat beans. So the idea with using germinated seeds is that there's much less of these oligosaccharides because the sapling use the oligosaccharides, and therefore we don't need as much bacteria to break it down, less gas, it's less uncomfortable. So should you buy them in your supermarket? It depends on the grain and the individual. Sometimes these germinated seeds are worth it because we are concerned about how much zinc you're eating. But if you're supplementing with something like ZMA to help you sleep, which also contains a lot of zinc, maybe the amount of zinc that you're getting from using a germinated or sprouted version of the grain isn't really necessary. Same thing with starch, right? If I have a marathon runner I'm training, I'm not so concerned with a little bit of extra starch. It's not really worth the cost. Most germinated or sprouted grains are going to be much more expensive. From a health point of view, the way that they sprout these grains is they put them in a dark and wet place for a few hours till the seed starts to sprout. That is also the same areas that bacteria uses as well to grow. So if you're using sprouted grains, I highly recommend you cook them thoroughly so you don't have any trouble with bacteria. In terms of my favorite sprouted grain product on the market, I'm really a big fan of Ezekiel bread. If you really must eat bread, and I miss this sometimes, Ezekiel bread has a really low glycemic index because it uses some of these sprouted grains. Having more fiber in it helps you get all your carbohydrates without the insulin spikes. So I hope this was helpful for you. Again, my name is Paul, and presentation for Stand Still Fitness.